This video is brought to you by Once Upon a Galaxy, the collectible card battler of cosmic proportions, available now on mobile. From the team that helped create Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, and Legends of Runeterra, Galaxy is a card game with strategic depth and immersive gameplay. Captain a crew of iconic characters from myths and fairy tales as you battle across the galaxy in search of allies, spells, danger, and most importantly, treasure. Head on over to your app store of choice and start exploring Once Upon a Galaxy today.
Hello, chaps. Welcome to the Windbreakers podcast. I'm Yahtzee Crochet. I'm joined by Jay and Marty, as always.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey up.
I'm suddenly paranoid that we're being silent, like has happened a couple of times.
Never. No
Chat.
need for paranoia.
Am I miming, or can you hear me, chat?
I'm sure they can hear us. How could they possibly not hear us?
Great
Okay,
miming.
I just checked they can hear us. And following on from last week, when we were picking what 5 games we'd pick to teach newbie to the wonderful world of video gaming, we thought we'd follow on with the related but distinctly different list. What 5 games would we all take to a desert island, borrowing the classic format of the BBC Radio's Desert Island Discs, which is like one of the institutions of British media, I think.
Yep.
And again, I find when I was putting together my list, this was less about favourite games and more about games we think we could play for a really long time. I got some options that might surprise you.
Yeah, because I have some of my favorite games are games that I either don't really ever want to revisit or I only want to revisit like once every decade. I wouldn't take Portal 2 to a desert island. Sure.
Portal 2 is something I want to play like once a year or every few years.
And you just get to a point where you would know everything. You just wouldn't. There'd be no challenge anymore.
Exactly.
My list, it has a different kind of format for why I've put it together this way, but we'll get to that. It's different from yours too.
Well, I see we've all got an awful lot of super chats already. Everyone's got their own list of 5.
Was it easy for you to break it down to 5? Because I am currently at about 12, and I'm going to figure out my 5 on the fly.
I think it was fairly easy because this is much more than last week's. This is much more about your personal individual character and tastes.
Yeah.
And I know myself. What can I say?
Yeah, that's good. It's good to know myself.
I don't want to go first this time. Jay, you go first. What's your first game?
Okay, so what are we doing? Are we going to do one by one, or are we going to do?
We'll do one by one. So same as last time.
Nuclear bomb dropped all 5 at once. So my first one. So my list is built up of games that I feel can serve a purpose for me on the island.
Okay.
Some of them being, can they distract me? And this one is kind of that, which is Bloodborne, which is just going to remind me that things aren't so bad, because they definitely have it worse than me.
At least you've got nice sunny weather. Because you got lovely scenery. Yeah,
the stark contrast it will do me good, and I just love the game. I think it's one of FromSoft's best.
Is without spoiling the rest of the list, is this your only Souls-like?
Yes.
Okay. Why would you choose this as opposed to an Elden Ring? That's not me. I'm literally just out of curiosity because I'm trying I have a Souls-like on mine. I
do think Elden Ring has a lot more replayability and a lot more going for it. Obviously, it came out 10 years after. But for me, it is just I want that stark contrast to where I am, and I want to have that not just the change of scenery as I'm on a desert island, but also now I get to be in this horrific gothic environment where when I finish, I can be like, yeah, you know what, the sand under my feet, not too bad, mate, not too bad.
See, the interesting thing is, I filled my list fairly quickly, and I don't have any Souls-likes on it. Maybe this is part of what I've often discussed, my struggle with Souls-like fatigue. I just feel like I've played enough Souls-like. I feel like I no longer have to prove myself in the area of rolling behind people as they attack and stabbing them in the bum.
Yeah, that's fair.
Marty, why don't you give us one?
Yeah, one I know is on my list that I've definitely settled on. We talked about it last week. None of us picked it, but it was on my short list, and it's the game I play when I feel depressed and when I feel sad. And I have it just as Katamari Damacy, but I would probably choose We Love Katamari just because of that, but more. That is a game that, while I don't find new things as I play it, it is a game that can make me happy. No matter how down I feel, which I feel like on a deserted island is going to be something that really comes in handy. And also, I have a recurring theme in a lot of my games is I'm assuming we also don't have like a radio or CDs or like music. And so I'm choosing games that could also double as, well, these are some pretty good tunes. I have a lot of good tunes in my games.
Put it on in the background. Nice.
Yeah, that's part of why it's so fun to play. Just doing like the final level of We Love Katamari, where you have to roll up the entire world to the themed song of the game, is so just good. Amazing.
Yeah,
that would probably have been in my top 10. Mm-hmm. I remember whiling away the hours playing We Love Katamari, and as you say, much more so than Katamari Damacy, because they rebalanced the difficulty a bit in We Love Katamari, so it's actually challenging, and I found it more interesting to try to beat my times.
Yeah.
Whereas the first game had a lot of levels where I'd just be rolling around a mostly empty space at the end, trying to fill time, getting every last drop.
And like you said, there is still a little bit of that. You can chart your progression and be like, oh, I've gotten better. So there's something to work towards as you slowly starve to death on this island.
Yeah.
Well, my first entry on my list, which I thought was obvious, and seems quite a few of our correspondents agree, going by the lists that have been posted, and that's Minecraft. Minecraft, which I think would be a fairly obvious pick. It's a world of infinite exploration and infinite creativity. And it can serve so many other purposes. Like, if you're really bored, you could try to write a novel using blocks.
My God.
I'm not bringing Microsoft Word to the island.
Yeah.
Can't pay the monthly fees.
Yeah.
That reminds me of one of the university things we had to do was we had to make a game in Unity, make a game in Unreal, and then do a third game somewhere else. And I recreated the game in Minecraft, and I used Redstone to make a game in Minecraft.
I like it.
Oh, what a nerd you are.
Yeah, I did a degree in nerd. It's true.
And there's so much like extra gameplay you could invent for yourself, which is part of its last ability, I think. I used to play Minecraft in hardcore mode just to like kill time, where I just see as far as I got before I died. I used to give myself building projects, or give myself a little objective like fill out such and such amount of the map, journey across the ocean, navigate for the benefit of future generations.
There you go.
You could invent whatever reasons you like. That's how you get into it.
You get inspiration for stuff to build on the island as well.
There you go.
Booty.
Yeah, because I'm sure it gives many practical real life skills playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
I'll draw a grid in the sand, and I'll put 2 bits of wood and a rock on it. Then I'll go, "Where's my shovel? Where's my shovel? I don't understand."
And then you'll starve.
And the fucking zombos come out at night.
Yeah.
Cool. Jay, what's your number 2?
Ooh. So again, with the theme of like getting something from these games, my next game is Stardew Valley. Okay. For 2 reasons. One, I think it's infinitely replayable. It can scale up massively, but the main things are social interaction, kind of manufacture actual human interaction on the farm and get to talk to NPCs and have no repercussions for courting all of them. And also farming, just kind of inspiration and in a way teaching how to farm and how to do agriculture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of the skills in Stardew are applicable?
Just like Minecraft, dude, they translate 1-to-1.
1-to-1.
Yeah. Put seeds on ground, chuck water on it. It just happens.
I think I've talked before that I sort of went off Stardew after I was playing it to try out the new content. And I got to the part where it unlocks a desert island you can go to, ironically. And, no, wait, appropriately enough. That's not irony. And I just sort of lost interest instantly because I was like, how is being on this desert island helping me with the core gameplay loop of managing my farm?
Yeah, it takes you away from your
And then I felt like
you've created.
I felt like I'd seen and done everything I needed to see and do in Stardew Valley, so I haven't really played it since.
That's a shame.
You want me to go with my second?
Yeah. If there's an awkward pause, I guess that means we've reached the point where we need to move on.
My second is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Damn.
Okay.
I was torn between this and Breath of the Wild. Ended up going with Tears of the Kingdom just because I feel like it is capital B bigger. I haven't replayed it yet, but I've very much enjoyed my first playthrough. I'm assuming when I'm picturing a desert island, I'm picturing the size of the island like is in our thumbnail, like a small island that's like a quarter of an acre, a very small island, and I'm just seeing ocean as far as the eyes can see. So in my mind, I want something that can like truly take me away and like show me sunrises and sunsets and vistas and mountains and rivers and caves and something to give me that sense of exploration that my newfound seabound prison has taken from me.
Yeah, that's fair. I have a question, which is a lot of people say this when we talk about Tears of the Kingdom, and they say, well, I was torn between this and Breath of the Wild. What do you see in Breath of the Wild that Tears of the Kingdom doesn't offer?
There might be something, despite Breath of the Wild being a big, sprawling open world game, it ends up feeling a little more contained and focused, whereas Tears of the Kingdom obviously brought in the sky stuff and the depths and everything.
Yeah.
And I just haven't replayed Tears of the Kingdom enough to know for sure whether, because I've replayed Breath of the Wild a ton of times, and so I just don't know where I land on is more better. Or is it? Yeah. So for this exercise, I'm gonna go with more is better. But I think time will tell whether the two are great, so I feel like it's like a 1A, 100%. 1B in my mind.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps using similar logic and partly inspired by you guys last week, actually, my number 2 game is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice.
A game I have played through once, but I feel like, as I often feel when I play games for review, there's a whole lot more I could have explored. I'm usually barreling through the critical path to get to the end. So I guess I want to see what else. I want to explore the rest of this world to see what I missed.
Did you ever find the vampire?
I don't think I ever found a vampire, no.
I don't think I found the vampire. I think I watched a YouTube video on it.
I think it's in Blackwater, I think. It's in one of the major cities. There's a Nosferatu motherfucker.
Vintage Nosferatu motherfucker.
Yeah, yes. Titular.
But it's also a very solid game, very good story writing, and a lot of areas where I could take a deep dive and jump in. I could fashion little coconut dollies of all the main characters to watch me as I play and feel like I'm getting some kind of social interaction by going through their stories.
100%.
You start talking to the coconuts, naming them Arthur.
Yes.
Arthur in Dutch.
Yes. Oh my God, Mighty Joe.
Coconut Dutch. I don't think you thought this plan all the way through. Shut up, I've got a plan. Etc.
That's good stuff. Jay, what's your numero tres?
Mine, as discussed previously before we went live, we've kind of agreed that we're not going to add any live service games unless they can be played solo. And luckily, my favorite can. World of Warcraft is my next one, but I cannot interact with anyone. The servers are effectively down, and I have to interact with them myself. They've introduced ways to do dungeons completely fine with NPCs. They have a base building mode from a previous expansion. They have a Pokemon effective mode, so I'm doubling up here. I just get like fantasy Pokemon. So it's touching a lot of bases, and I've got a lot of nostalgia. So.
Yeah, I don't think you need to justify yourself too much. I think, as I was saying before the call, quite a lot of people play World of Warcraft and don't actually interact with any other players.
Exactly, yeah.
Because there's something about being able to quest amid people, if not with them. It's like, all those poor sods having to rely on others. I'm a lone wolf, baby. There's no point being a cool lone wolf if no one can see you being a cool lone wolf.
Yeah, you can be called like Edge McMahon tits or something and just pretend you're really cool.
I love the name Edge McMahon instead of Ed McMahon. That's really good.
At the end of the day, my favorite thing about World of Warcraft is the hard end game content that you have to have teams of people to do, but there's still a wealth of content and stuff to enjoy. So if that was an option, I'll take it.
I guess it'll take you a while to get through all the content, and then you can go through all the content again as every single different race and class.
Oh my god. Well, that changes things. If I have to like make new characters and start from scratch, I might reconsider because I've put so many years into that game. So, yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned lately, but my first novel, Mogworld, was partly inspired by playing through World of Warcraft as an undead.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that a part of the Fanatical collection available now on fanatical.com?
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I didn't know about this. There's a special collection of my books going out on fanatical.com.
I assume you make money off this, right? Hopefully.
Well, yeah, I make money from sales of my books.
Well,
generally.
the fact that you didn't know about
They didn't tell you that you were getting a collection or to promote it. So
no, I guess they wouldn't need to tell me about it to just do like a bundle deal.
Yeah.
But I could have like retweeted it if they'd mentioned something. Maybe they mentioned it to the publishers, and the publishers forgot to mention it to my agent, or my agent forgot to mention it to me. There's quite a pipeline at work here.
Yeah, all of the above.
But yeah, buy all my books. They're good. Just ask fanatical.com.
Yeah. Who needs Desert Island Discs when you can have Desert Island books? Think about that.
Well, in the actual format of Desert Island Discs, as well as music discs, you're allowed to take a book and a luxury item.
Oh man, I don't even know what book I would take.
No, I'd probably take Count of Monte Cristo. It's my favorite big read.
Probably take some smut so I could just goon out on the island.
And my luxury item would be a solar-powered laptop with Game Maker installed.
Damn, what a sponsor.
Damn.
It's the easy-to-use game engine that powers such modern classics like Undertale, Anton Blast, and Yahtzee's own Starstruck Vagabond.
The genius of that is that I could wait a few years till I've gone completely mad and then replay all the games I've made back when I was sane.
I like that. My thing that's good for this desert island thing is I have a shit memory. And so I live on a non-desert island. I don't even live on an island. I just live in a state. And I just forget things I've played. So I can go back a couple years later and be like, hell yeah, this feels different.
You're a big replay man, aren't you? You love going back.
Oh, I love a replay.
So.
Love a replay.
You love a good replay.
Speaking of my number 3 game, I feel like I needed an action game. I need something with a little violence. I need something to be able. I needed to be able to headshot someone.
Let the steam out, dude.
Yeah, and when I'm thinking, what game would allow me to do that and at the same time have like a level of mastery that I can like continue to strive towards? And this is not my favorite game in this franchise, but I think it might be the most mechanically interesting. And I think I'm going to go with Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So not my far and away not my favorite Metal Gear. I honestly think in terms of favorite ones, I would take 1, 2, 3, or 4 over 5. But I think the Phantom Pain has one of the most entertaining kind of sandbox action kit of tools for you to infiltrate a base and just fuck some guys up and send some folks back to your mother base. And when I play through the game and then I see what the gameplay of people who've like mastered it looks like, I'm like, oh, you're playing something different than I am. Like you are so good at this that you are on another level.
Yeah.
And again, some decent tunes. You get some audio, you get some decent tunes. So
and some smut.
Some smut. But you got to feel bad because remember what Kojima said, that if you said anything about the way Quiet was dressed, when you learn the reason why, you will regret the error of your ways. It's because she breathes through her skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel any different.
I don't feel any different either. Yeah.
I feel like you could have very easily just rewritten the plot so that she didn't breathe through her skin. Maybe she could breathe through the top of her head, and she just has to shave all her hair off every now and again.
It's one of my favorite excuses when you point something out, and then the creator or the fans go, "Well, it's because of this reason in the story." It's like they control what the story is.
Motherfucker, you made the story.
Yes,
you control the buttons you press.
You can change this.
I've made this point many times. I made it when I was talking about how much I hate Aloy as a character from Horizon Zero Dawn. anticipating the argument that, she's like that because she was raised as an outcast, I replied, I'm not saying the game doesn't adequately explain why she's a twat.
Yeah.
I'm complaining that she's a twat.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Great example.
All right. Is it my turn? Number 3 game?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, going off yours, Marty, for my little dose of action and excitement, I am going with Black Mesa, one of my favorite comfort zone games. Not because I feel like there's much more to explore, although there's a lot of detail to look into when you get down to the nitty-gritty in that. It's just a comfort zone game of mine. It's a game I find I can just put on whenever. If I don't feel like playing anything else, I can always just play a bit of Black Mesa. Partly of
100%.
the eternal nostalgia for playing through Half-Life, which was one of the earliest games I got really into as a teenager. But it's just a solid, fun shooter without too many complicated bells and whistles. And every part of it just feels like another part of my memory palace.
100%. Yeah.
Plus, again, there's ways you can spice it up for yourself. Like I told you the other week, I've been playing through it in hardcore mode, where I have to stop if I ever die.
Did you die?
No, I haven't gone back to it since then because I'm so busy, and I was
Oh my God,
I was
so
away,
busy.
I was away all weekend. But this weekend I will definitely be picking it back up. Yes,
But the dangerous thing is if he
dude.
finishes the game, then he has to just start it over again. He has to keep playing till he dies.
Yeah.
This might
Yes.
be his eternity
Well-
if he never dies.
no, I have to advance the difficulty setting up.
They've told me. We know the devs yachts. They've told me, they've private messaged me to tell me that if you do that, you will become the Black Mesa. You'll just
my
transform.
goodness.
Incredible.
Who's that mysterious stranger who just rolled into town? They call him the Black Mesa.
So
That's
you
a pretty
pick
badass
Black
mystery
Mesa
character
over
name.
like Half-Life 2, assuming this was like a bundle of Half-Life 2.
Yeah. I guess this is something I need to analyze about myself, but I guess I just don't enjoy Half-Life 2 as much as Black Mesa.
Damn.
There is enough room here for me to start really going into the weeds on that. Maybe I'll write an extra punctuation about it. I mean, a semi-emblematic. Shit,
You can't use that word.
It keeps happening.
Cops are coming.
Fucking hell. It's Fnatic's fault. They were name dropping ZP.
Excellent. Jay, what's your number 4?
Well, kind of bouncing off what you were saying, Yachts. I wanted something that could help me sleep. Give me those good vibes. Not that Stardew Valley wouldn't do that, but I wanted something that I could easily play, kind of turn your brain off, but still get those warm feelings. And everyone in chat's going to know what it is. It's Beyond Good and Evil. I love that game to the same extent as Yachts. Like, I know every corner, every facet of that game, and playing it makes me feel warm. And I could have endless fun as I did as a kid, just sailing around on my hovercraft or flying around in the beluga, and just getting that nostalgia blast. And I've replayed it hundreds of times, and never once have I felt, oh well, I've had enough of this. I'll move forward. Largely due to it being such a huge part of my childhood, but I would like to relive that and like to keep a hold of that.
Yeah, there's like, of my probably 20 favorite games of all time, like a solid half of them are probably from before 2000, and relatively short. A lot of Super Nintendo games, like whether it's Link to the Past or Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, Super Mario World.
Yeah.
And I thought about all of those, and part of me was like, well, they're not long enough. But then another part of me is like, well, it doesn't matter. I replay these games all the time. I clearly am willing to fucking chow down with them whenever. So
yeah. It's like, how do you want to feel? Like, what
exactly?
What do you want it to do? And that's just my nostalgia warm game.
All right, Marty, what's your game that makes you warm?
I'm just gonna Persona 5 Royal. I'm gonna go with Persona 5.
Oh, of course, the inevitability.
Couple reasons. A, you choose a different waifu every time. That's like 10 replays built in right there.
Infinite waifus, dude.
There you go.
B, it's a reminder of what civilization was like, and like a somewhat realistic depiction of a real place. Like, I've been to Tokyo, I've been to Shibuya. Like, it looks like that. So it would be like a reminder of what of what reality was like. Also, sick ass tunes. Also, you could kind of create your own things. Where in my mind, I'm like, I'm only going to use personas whose names start with an A. then you just create your own weird little challenges
There you
as
go.
you go through. I'm only
Great
going to
challenge.
choose
Yeah,
personas who look like they kind of look like penises. Got the penis patrol
Yeah.
going.
Got the penis run.
Yeah.
I mean, that certainly is one of those games that.
Yeah.
Though I feel like you might start cheating after a while and saying, "Yeah, it kind of looks like a penis," if you half close your eyes.
Listen, if I'm on an island for long enough, everything's
Yes.
gonna start looking like a penis.
What is a marionette
Naga?
but just a penis on strings, you know?
Think about
Yeah, Naga's like a long snaky-like thing. You could say that's a penis
Good enough.
if it's longer than it's wide, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, my
yes,
fourth,
what is your
my
number
fourth
four?
one. Continuing in the world of comfort zones, my fourth pick is FTL Faster Than Light.
Ooh,
Which
Nice.
I mean, I wouldn't have said, if you'd like pressed me, I wouldn't have said this was like a game I really love playing. But Steam hours don't lie, and I have it's like one of my number one games for Steam hours, like 1,000.
Jesus.
It seems to be something I can get really absorbed by, FTL Faster Than Light. Because you know what it is? Because I really like Star Trek: The Next Generation, and when you play FTL, you think to yourself, someone's just died in the cockpit. I need to get someone on the console, and now I need to divert power to main thrusters. And that's exactly the sort of thing people say in Star Trek, and that's exactly what you're doing from a gameplay
living it.
perspective.
Yeah.
Are there any other games that do that like emulate that kind of bridge to different ship?
There was
There's
that
a
one
control
multiplayer
powers.
game we played a few years ago. That was more of like a
Yes.
silly take on it, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes. What was that called? But that also had the sort of
Literally
divert
remember.
power to different systems mechanic.
Yeah. Because you've kind of got a bit of that in Star Trek Vagabond, right?
Pulsar Lost Colony was the game.
Pulsar Lost Colony, yeah.
Thank you, Sir George Lucas. Yes, Star Trek Vagabond. I certainly wanted to have that feeling of going around your ship's interior, managing the systems, if not quite so, if not in quite so intense a setting.
Yeah, of course.
I'm curious what subset is working on, because they made FTL and then they made Into the Breach.
Yes.
And they haven't made anything since. So I'm curious.
Probably something that will blow all our socks off anew.
It is interesting that we've been talking about it on Firelink, how the Celeste developers announced that their supposed next game has been canceled because of kind of like a rights dispute between founders of the company. And so they were going to be working on this Metroidvania called Earthblade. And they settled the rights dispute, but some of the teams splintered off, and they said they kind of just want to start fresh with something. So I feel like when your first-ish game is a huge success, like I'm always like, how do you follow that up? Like, how does Concerned Ape follow up Stardew? How do you follow up Undertale? Like, I know obviously we have Deltarune, but like, I don't know, it's tough.
Yes, you make it again, apparently.
Yeah. Following the formula for, say, like Hollow Knight is what you do is you announce a sequel and then go into hiding. And it just drums up hype for the original project, and then you just you have fun endlessly making that game, and then 20 years later you drop it and the world implodes.
Yeah.
And then just like with PT, even though there wasn't really much to it, it remains part of the conversation for the rest of eternity.
I'm already set. I'm putting my claim in. We are just a little under 2 months away from Silksong's release date. April 2nd is when we're going to get the release date at the Switch 2 review.
Yes.
You reckon it's going to be one of the Switch 2 announcements?
I think it'll launch with the Switch 2.
You like
that would be fucked.
You're like the fucking Jehovah's Witnesses, but for Silksong.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Every few years they announce a new end of the world date.
Oh no, guys! I read it wrong. It's fine. It's fine. It's actually April 2nd.
Team Cherry are quite cozy with Nintendo since they released the Switch version. I think you might be right. They might have struck a deal to have it be a Switch 2 release, especially if it comes out physical and you can get a bundle.
Yeah. I do think it's going to be. I don't think it'll only be on Switch 2. I think it'll be on PC and
of course
on Game Pass and everything. They've already said that, but yeah, I do think it launching alongside the Switch 2 will be a big deal.
All right. Game number 5, Jay.
Last one.
All right, I'm gonna be a shill. We had a sponsor stream last week, and we played a card game, and I was like, "Yeah, this is really good," and I haven't stopped playing it all weekend. It's really fucking good. And I just find myself getting horrifically absorbed into it. Like the world fades away. Same for Jess. And I'm
Wow.
like, I want something that I can just mindlessly play. It's very accessible. It's very
haven't even
easy
said the
to
name of the
get
game
grips
yet.
They're
Oh, yeah.
not paying us to say this, kids.
They are not
Amazing.
paying us to say it.
They are not paying us to say this. I genuinely really like this game. It's called Once Upon a Galaxy. It's a card game from previous devs on Hearthstone, Legend of Runeterra, and Magic the Gathering. Really accessible. Got a lot of depth to it. A lot of like endless play, and you're not playing against players in real time. You're playing against like the memory, like the ghost
the
of their
ghost?
previous games.
Yeah.
So technically, it's not multiplayer because I'm not interacting with them, so I can play it.
Yeah. That actually checks out.
Right.
Yeah.
And thanks for being a team player, Jay. We'll get in touch with them, and that's got to be worth a few extra quid, I'd say.
This is the problem. I'm like, wow, this is really good. I want to add this here, but we were paid by them to do the original stream. But genuinely, it's really, really good.
Right, Marty. what's
Okay.
Number 5. Is it Raid Shadow Legends?
I had a couple. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but Jay, you being brave enough to choose Once Upon a Galaxy, I want to be brave as well, and I'm gonna go with Suika Game. I'm gonna choose Suika Game, which
Just
for folks who
funny-
don't,
The funny watermelons game.
the smiley watermelon game. I'm gonna choose Suika Game because it's just a good time. It's just a real good vibe. Music's beautiful, visuals are great, all the fruits are smiling, and God knows the produce on this island is not going to be smiling. Also, it is a game, makes me smile every time I play. I'm also getting worse at it. Every time I play, I get a little bit worse. And so I feel like maybe if I'm locked on this island forever, maybe I can get better again. Maybe I can get to as good as I was a year and a half ago. Because God knows I've gotten worse.
Okay.
Okay.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Would you say this is also a comfort thing? Does it give
Absolutely a comfort. Yeah.
you that? Beautiful. Yeah, I respect it. Well done
yeah.
for being brave.
Thank you. I learned it from you, Dad.
Yeah. Yahtzee,
Well,
your turn to be brave.
I went completely away from comfort zones for my 5th game because I don't want to spend my whole time on this island replaying stuff I've played before. I want to play something that I feel like that I don't feel like I like at this point, but I feel like I could learn to get into.
Can I guess what it is? Is it Danganronpa?
No. I think it might surprise you. The game I have picked is Fire Emblem 3 Houses,
Wow. That is shocking to me.
which I've played.
That's Jess's favorite game of all time.
I played like the first half hour of it and was like, I'm not into like being an anime schoolmaster. But looking back, I feel like if I had literally nothing else to do with my time but play this one game, I feel like this is something that I could put enough time into to sort of tweak my preferences when it comes to gameplay style and actually start getting into this kind of game.
Yeah. And it's also very malleable in terms of you can like ease yourself into it, learn the mechanics, play on an easy mode, but then you can go all the way up to like hardcore Iron Man permadeath. Like these fucking kids are going to die if you lose them in battle.
I mean, I eventually
play
put time into Persona and it became my new obsession. This feels like something that if I gave it time, I could become obsessed with. And sort of the way Persona like sold me on JRPGs, this would sell me on like Japanese tactical games.
That's a really great choice. I love it.
Yeah. And the mere mention of that in this list made Jess wave her arms like one of those tube men. It was
It
was entertaining.
Did you?
I guess I'm saying that being stuck on a desert island is no reason not to want to experience growth as a person.
I like that. I love that.
Wow.
Any? Did you guys, before we go to super chats, did you have any kind of honorable mentions? Just missed the cut.
Well, I would have. Well, I feel bad I didn't pick Wheel of Katamari after you mentioned it.
Yeah.
UFO 50.
UFO 50 that could last you quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know, like the individual games, I kind of get bored of pretty quick, but it's okay. You can just move to a different one.
I want a UFO 50, but with Super Nintendo era games, because I like those games more than I like kind of the 8-bit.
Isn't that called Switch Online?
Can I just have Switch? If I could just have Switch Online, I would just choose that.
That's cheating.
That's cheating. A couple I had in terms of one of those games where I feel like I could constantly strive to get better at. I thought about Neon White. So I thought about that could be something that could take a lot of time, like a sense of mastery.
I love that game
in a relatively like modest bite size.
Yeah, I guess sooner or later we're all three of us are going to just start speedrunning all 5 of our picks.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. In terms of action, though, I went with Metal Gear Solid 5. I thought about Resident Evil 4 Remake or Hitman 3, just because Resident Evil 4 is so fun to play. Like, not that I would ever, like, that game's not difficult. There's not a ton of secrets and stuff, but like, it's just always fun to run through that campaign and shoot dudes in the head. Same thing with Hitman 3. A lot of experimentation there. And I also had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on my list. A, banger soundtrack, and B, another sense of mastery. When it came out when I was in middle school or whenever, I played that game after school every day. And I actually got a little bit better at it, unlike Suika, in which I get worse.
The regression.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Shall we go to super chats? And go through?
Yeah, there's quite a few of them.
Oh, go away, chat summary. I don't need your fucking...
You know, I hate everything I use now. It's first... Every time I open something up, it's like, hey, do you want AI? I'm like, no, I don't need AI to write an email for me. I don't need AI to tell me what chat's going. Like, I'll figure this out myself.
Slack offers it to me every time I open it, and I want to throttle it.
Flag off. Am I right?
I'm fucking go away, chat summary. I can't even read the top super chat because the fucking summary's in the way. Okay, here we go. Faz gives 199 and says Minecraft could keep you entertained for years. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you for enforcing me, Faz.
In a Minecraft slot, a game I thought about was Dreams. The PlayStation,
like the game maker, like
like the media molecule thing of like, yes. I don't know how to make a game, but if I have infinite time on an island, maybe I could learn.
Look, 3D modeling with a PlayStation controller is the worst way to learn how to make a game.
Don't worry. Before my ship crashed, I brought my PlayStation Move, so I got my Move. Oh
my god!
Yeah.
All right, Pure87 gives 20 in Danish kroner and says Minecraft, Crusader Kings 3, Civilization, RimWorld, Fallout New Vegas, plus all mods. Hey, we didn't say anything about allowing mods.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you cheater. But yeah, those feel like those are smart choices for games, like infinite games, right?
Yeah, if you like strategy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm going to reading out a lot of random lists now. David Cozy C gives $2 Canadian and says Animal Crossing New Horizons purely for irony.
Also thought about that one. It just seems like it'd be nice to like have friends. You'd wake up every morning and be like, let me say hi to my friends.
And have something to do every day.
There's lots of mechanisms in that to alleviate long-term boredom, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My islands are always ugly. I think I'm bad at making islands that aren't ugly. It's
possible you just think it's an ugly game.
Oh no. You've shattered my illusion.
Yikes.
Gildon Yetic gave us $5 and says, to mix things up, some obscure choices from my games you never stop playing list. Astronauts, Stardeus, Caves of Quud, X4 Foundations, Keeper RL. Wow, that's an obscure e-boner you're swinging around there, Gildon Yetic. I only know of like 2 of those. Fake. No, they're real. X4 is like a grand space game, I think. I think I've heard Stardeus names mentioned. I think Caves of Quud Caves of Quud is like a classic roguelike in the original rogue sense.
The game made of fucking beep boops?
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, that's one way of describing it, I suppose.
Have either of you thought about getting back? I just saw Space, and it made me think of something. Have you guys ever thought about getting back into No Man's Sky? I keep seeing people be like, "This game is fucking revolutionary."
There aren't enough hours in the day.
Did you re-review No Man's Sky, or am I nuts?
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm sure I don't want to have to re-review it every few years, like it's fucking Madden.
Did you enjoy it when you played it again? Ish.
I enjoyed it more than the original release.
That's good.
Let's say that.
I might have the world record for the most refunds of that game. I've bought and refunded that game 4 times. People have been like, it's great now, and I buy it. And I'm like, no, it's still shit, and refund it.
One more time. Solidify that record.
I'm not lying. Last week I added it back to my wish list, so when next time it goes on sale, I can try it again.
Okay, Karuta Cowboy gives 70 Zarers and says, my personal picks, Persona 5 Royal, Stardew Valley, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Fire Emblem Awakening, Resident Evil 4 OG, and the ones that just missed out, Mario Sunshine, Neon White, UFO 50, Persona 4 Golden, Live Alive. Jeez, Cowboy, your fucking life story.
That's a really impressive list that kind of encompasses things we all chose or talked about or contemplated.
Yeah. Is it Live Alive or Live Alive?
I called it Live Alive. I don't know. And anyone who says they know what it is lying because no one knows.
Or is it Live Alive?
Live Alive?
Oh, Live Alive.
Livy.
Dr. Theo gives $5 and puts in their own list. Assuming I have internet, Dead by Daylight, Roblox, VR Chat, The Finals, and Bloodborne. If Roblox doesn't count, I'll do Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I thought about Mario Kart 8 or Smash in games that I'm like, I could just play. These games have a bunch of shit to do in them.
I suppose there's no reason not to let you play on the internet, but then it raises the question of why aren't you just signaled for rescue?
Yeah.
On the internet.
Message one of your final teammates and say, hey, I'm on a fucking island, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Come get me.
Sovereign gives €5 and says, my 5 picks based on my mood in this current moment. Hollow Knight, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Bloodborne, another one, Age of Empires 2, Definitive Edition, and, interesting last pick, Fear. F.E.A.R.
I guess that kind of fits in that give me a power fantasy that I could just replay a bunch.
Yeah, action's pretty good in that. Nothing could beat that Black Mesa shotgun, though. Hi, I'm a zombie. I hope I don't get my face perforated. Ooh, gonna have to disappoint you, Mr. Zombie.
Oh, fuck.
From Super Chat so far, we've seen a couple Resi 4s and a couple Bloodborns. People like those games.
Bloodborne keeps popping up.
Redburn.
Fox D gives $5. Says, got to have longevity and infinite replayability. So American Truck Simulator, Sims 2, NBA 2K25, Medieval Dynasty, and City Skylines. I think these are telling us a lot about you as people.
Yeah. This is like a personality test. This is a void comp test.
I think I've said in Somewhere Emblematic at one point, we should have like a dating site, and you just say what your favorite games are, and you get grouped based on that.
Honestly, pretty effective, I reckon.
Yeah. Name's Not Fits, member for 6 months in tip jar. Thank you very much. And then Tsunami Dusha, guess what he says?
What?
Is it nothing?
Yes, it's nothing. He says nothing and gives us $20.
Walk tall and carry a big stick. Look at that 20. That was the 20.
Lovely.
Eric showed the 20.
Yes. Yes, it's ours now. Lastimosas gives 125 things and says Dwarf Fortress, Balatro, Tetris, Rock Band, all its DLCs, and Game Maker. I'll be impressed if I manage to master a couple before I'm gone. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't even consider Balatro, and that's probably the one I've been playing the most of in my spare time lately.
I also didn't consider a rock band with all the DLCs and the instruments.
Yeah, but no controller, mate.
I feel like that
would games, no controller.
That would do my wrists in. Playing too much Rock Band.
Don't worry, you'll have strong wrists.
Yeah.
Anyway, isn't all the DLCs of Rock Band basically every song that exists that has ever been made?
And it's a lot of songs to listen to.
There's a lot of mods that allow you to do it and stuff.
Cry, member for 14 months in the Green Gang, says, I choose Dave the Diver. It's basically 5 games. 5 fucking shallow games.
Oh, what are you talking about? You dive very deep in that game.
Not really. You dive to the bottom of the ocean and you're barely 20% through the game.
Oh, I just meant you just dive a little bit.
Also, Dave the Diver being a diving game without much depth is irony.
Oof.
Because remember, being appropriate is not ironic. It has to be the opposite. Like a prostitute who lives on Chastity Avenue, that's irony. A prostitute that lives on Chesty Bum Street, that's just appropriate.
Love a Chesty Bum Street.
I ironically grew up on Chesty Bum Street. Was that the correct usage of it?
Sure.
Yes.
No, what do you ironic about that?
I don't know.
It's not ironic. That's the point.
Is it ironic that it's not ironic?
It's ironic that the song "Ironic" by Alanis Morissette doesn't actually contain any examples of irony in it. That is ironic.
Purposeful, or do you think that was just?
Well, I wonder. I wonder just on what level Alanis Morissette was operating when she wrote that song.
She's either like high level ironic or
really low level doesn't get it.
Yeah. Great song though.
Ryan Betts gives $5. Says, I watched Scott the Waz's video on this topic just yesterday. Also, assuming it hasn't grown back by the time this is read out, nice haircut, Marty.
It hasn't grown back yet. A couple of them grew back, but most of them are still gone.
Yeah, I noticed. You were
new haircut,
new
microphone
today,
new camera,
new man,
new social security number because I burned my old one. New identity.
Does your microphone still have your health bar on it? Can you show the people? Yes, there it is. Just bring that up, and then as you get more bored through the course of the podcast, have it just go slowly down.
He's losing health. We're talking about British shit. He's dying. He's going down.
Oh no, I don't want to hear it. I don't even my back.
Squirtle Squad 420. Squirtle Squad 420 gives $5. It says, a game that has a map editor. Dune 2016, many RTS games can help scratch creative itches as well as gameplay itches. Well, that's why I picked Minecraft, Squirtle Squad 420.
That's true. Does Dune 2016 have a map editor? I didn't know that.
Yes, it does. I think it was bundled with it. I remember messing around with it. I used to play around with Duke Nukem 3D build back in the 90s as well.
Did you ever make a first-person game? No,
I don't.
Games you made for first-person, right?
No, I don't really know how to make 3D games, and I'm not inclined to learn, for I am lazy and set in my ways.
You'll learn when you're on the island, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, when I got my Game Maker computer. Although Game Maker makes really shit 3D games.
Yeah, it's not really built for it.
Mostly 2D. But if we're given enough time, I'll probably learn how to make the fucking Doom engine in it.
Maybe you'll keep getting updates of the thing too. You'll be outside of society, but every time you wake up, you'll get a new update on the thing and be like, "Oh, there you go."
Oh my god.
Wer puckt daher der Dunkelheit gives €5. It says, hi, it's been a while since I last joined one of these. Still remember how to pronounce my name. I'll spare you my list. I know nobody really cares.
I cares.
How courteous. Much more courteous than the rest of you boring twats.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight because I'm going to be thinking about what wer bucht der Herr der Dunkelheit wanted on the list. I don't think I said that.
Wer buckt daher der Dunkelheit.
Can we talk about this little art in the corner? Eric, did you make that? That's very nice. Look at us. We're hanging out.
Just chilling.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like this scenario because I'm very allergic to dogs. And so I feel like I might die on this island.
Yeah, but then me and Yaz can eat you.
Yeah.
That's true. Maybe I'm already dead. I'm just floating in the water.
Names Not Fits gives 100 Swedish krona and says, I'd bring Doom 2016 and Eternal as I'm trying to beat them on Ultra Nightmare Death Equals Reset. On a desert island, I could grind all day, every day, without worrying about societal consequences or obligations. True, but you might go mad.
You might go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might legitimately go nuts.
Mikhail Manfredo gives $9.99 and says, Yahtzee, you are my biggest inspiration for starting my own game critiques. I love your passion for the industry, and we all appreciate the laughs and insight over the years. I lost my innocence in a bathhouse. Well, I'm glad you felt you could bring this up to us, Mikhail Manfredo, but perhaps you should see a therapist about it.
This is therapy.
I assume that was a line from one of your reviews. Was it not?
I think I've occasionally made a reference to beautiful Filipino boys in a bathhouse in a sort of general archetypal sort of sense.
Great.
This really
Don't regret asking that question at all.
And moving hastily on, Nidarom gives $2 and says Elden Ring, Starstruck Vagabond, Minecraft, and Dreams.
That's 4
You
games.
You don't even need a fifth because Starstruck Vagabond's that good. Available now.
Exactly.
Steams.
Exactly. Yes, the 5th pick is Starstruck Vagabond's New Game Plus mode.
Beautiful.
Yes. Sold pretty well over December, probably because there was 2 sales over the course of the month.
Oh, beautiful.
Still haven't hit 500 reviews, though. We're 12 away.
Fucking get on it, gang.
Yeah.
If you do like that game, you can always show your appreciation with a review. It's always appreciated.
What are you
Like
gonna
to
do
subscribe.
if we get to 500? What's the stretch goal? What are you gonna
Big wank.
Oh, incredible.
Big
Patreon exclusive.
self-satisfied
do?
wank.
What's a small wank? Like,
Oh, I've had a small wang before.
That's when back in high school when I was having German lessons with the attractive young teacher, I just sort of very subtly rubbed myself through the fabric of my trousers.
Why'd you ask that question, Jay?
yeah. As soon as
good
the
did
words
you
came
think-
out of my mouth,
What good
I
did you
knew-
think would come from that?
I knew we'd get a fucking Yahtzee wank story. I'm like, what have I done?
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of
I was
them.
I was a teenager. I was hormonal. I'd only recently discovered masturbation as a pastime. I wanted to see.
You don't need to give us more info.
Yeah,
I wanted to see how
this isn't the
effi-
director's commentary. We got it.
Yes, it was like speed runs. I'd mastered the art. Now I was trying to, challenge myself.
Great Desert
Where am
Island
I?
game.
A superb owner gives $5. Says, "Well, I certainly won't need any Jiminy Cockthroats. The island itself is an open-world stealth action adventure game with crafting and collectibles.
Not if you're on a very small
Oh,
island.
Why are you stealthing on the island? Are you trying to avoid like natives?
coconuts.
Yeah, are there monsters? Is there like a Voss? A Voss there?
Yeah, the problem is it doesn't have respawning, so you're kind of fucked.
Are you hoping to avoid getting picked up by passing ships because you like it on the island so much?
I mean, it feels like the
Yeah.
island from Lost. That was a magical island.
A superb owner gives $2 and says, "Jabate, what's the best way to play Beyond Good and Evil?"
With a controller.
Okay.
You like the 20th
Also,
anniversary edition?
The 20th anniversary edition is really good. It's a great encapsulation of what that game is, and it just controls really well. So, yeah, check it out.
That's on PC and modern consoles and everything. So.
Yeah, and you can kind of help Ubisoft stay alive for another couple months if you buy it. So it's good.
But why would you want to do that?
I don't know. Maybe you want to see Shadows.
It'll probably suck. I know because Nick said it was good.
Thanks.
Sussiguro 2000 gives €5. It says, "Man vs. Wild with Bear Grylls for PS3. I need water."
There's a
That
Man
wasn't-
versus Wild game.
Is that a line from the game? I need water.
Oh, I'm sure they farted out something when survival games were.
No, this
really
actually looks
hot.
really good. This looks really good.
Only because it looks like MGS3.
No, this looks terrible. It looks god awful. Look at him in that swamp
Yeah.
though. He's swamping.
Uh,
Did Bear Grylls ever die? Is he dead?
No, he's alive.
Did he ever die?
Yeah, he does a lot of things where it seems like he died.
No, you're thinking of Steve Irwin, I think.
I think
There was this,
Steve Irwin.
There was this amazing. This is when I truly understood media literacy. I was watching. Bear Grylls was on the TV and he was crawling under this ice into an ice cave, and he got stuck in between. And the person I was watching it with was like, "Oh my god! Like he's stuck. He's going to be stuck there." And I went, "How did they get the camera on the other side of him to film this?" And they were like,
Also, he's narrating
"Oh."
this episode.
Yeah. And I was like, there's a camera filming him as he's stuck.
Yes,
and
I
I was
feel
like,
like it-
people just believe
yes.
this.
This was probably filmed like a year ago. I'm sure we would have heard.
Yeah.
Doran Grossman Naples gives $5. Says, "I feel like Dark Souls challenge runs could fill my time for the rest of my life. So much build variety."
Yeah.
What? It's if you had to pick one Souls like, would you pick Dark Souls 1? Would you pick a bigger game like Elden Ring? Would you pick a Bloodborne?
I guess I'd go for Elden Ring because much in the way I picked Fire Emblem Three Houses, that's the one I'm least
It makes
familiar
sense.
with.
Yeah.
I need more time to explore.
There you go.
Hjorth87. That wasn't his name. That was me coughing. Hjorth87 gives 20 Danish kroner and says, "I kind of want to see a fully ramble on Raid Shadow." Well, the problem with that is I don't want to play Raid Shadow Legends.
Mm.
So we find ourselves at an impasse.
They paid us like 50 grand, I'm sure. But
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd tongue their ballsack for 50 grand at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
done deal.
solid. That's just, being money smart. 50 grand. That would see me through cream eggs for the whole winter.
Spent a lot of money on cream eggs.
I like cream eggs. What do you
They're
want?
really good. They're really good.
And tongue in them.
Interestingly, don't contain any cream.
Or egg.
None at all. Is it just like a syrup, like a sugary,
Yeah,
a thick
it's just-
sugary syrup?
Pretty much, it's just sugar goo.
Ooh,
Love sugared goo.
the best kind.
Impy gives €2. Says, what's the best resource to learn Game Maker? Yahtzee's Dev Diary, I think.
Yeah.
No, I think if you just, I'm not sure actually.
I know the
self-taught.
I know this because when we were looking for B-roll for the ad, the Game Maker YouTube page has a bunch of tutorials on like a bunch of very specific different things. So
Is it Game Maker that has they have links to tutorials within Game Maker itself? So if you're struggling on a specific thing, they'll have a resource there to go to, or is that Godot?
I've never found any links to tutorials.
I think that's Godot.
Oots.
By the way,
well.
I think you skipped King Dead Dono.
Wow.
Shit. Yes,
Wow.
King Dead 42 gave $2 and says, I would need a desert island to finally finish Baldur's Gate 3.
That's a great pick. You could get a lot of replay value out of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Probably.
Do they ever make it to that gate in that game?
Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
No, I think Baldur still got it.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Selfish bastard.
it's a misspelling. It's referring to the manner in which Baldur walks.
Oh, his gate. I like that.
Like,
That's pretty good.
Baldur, what's up with your gate?
That's really good.
You might say.
His
Yeah,
foot
when
fuzz.
you meet him, strutting around.
Gun gives 250 RSDs. Have we ever had RSDs? I don't think I've seen RSD before.
Rizdies.
Who says, if we can have mods, then I will take Doom and all the games made in that engine. Yeah, the Doom fans are a bit weird about adapting basically every single game that comes out into the Doom engine.
RSDs, Serbian dinars.
Extraordinary.
Shout out to Serbia.
Nico Belic's neck of the woods.
Cousin.
Go bowling.
I always wonder if it's supposed to be pronounced Belich in like the original.
Nico
pronunciation.
Bellic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Eastern European names
Yeah.
pronounced
a little chip.
in that way. A superb owner comes back with another $2 and says pineapple on pizza to remind me it could be worse.
Think about it. Your island doesn't have a volcano that explodes after 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
Okay. Spoilers.
Oh, sorry. I'm allowed to spoil it. I brought it into the world.
No, you didn't. Permafrost
If I made that game, and that was my secret, is that I didn't tell people. I made one game and it was pineapple on pizza.
Seems a weird thing to be coy about, but okay.
So modest.
Yes, Permafrosty79 member for 10 months in tip jar, and then James Barnes gives £2, says, whose buttocks have a rocky analogue in Red Dwarf? Is this like a trivia question?
I think this is a trivia question.
Well, in the episode Marooned in season 3, Lister asks of Rimmer, are you saying I got a big bum? And Rimmer replies, big, it's like two badly parked Volkswagens. I don't know if that's the reference you were fishing for, James Barnes.
Marty's on death's door. We need to wrap it up. His health bar's going down.
Oh,
His
well.
name's Barnes. James Barnes. That's a British thing.
Okay.
What,
Very
Barnes?
British.
James Bond.
Oh, okay. Will Cooling gives £2 and says, so that's how Jay really paid to get Ludo over.
Oh, when you grew up on what, Cranky Anchor Street, or what was it called?
Well, Cranky Wanker Street. I think he's talking about me shilling Once Upon a Galaxy because I like something that we got paid to do. I mean, technically, I used some money I get paid for to get Ludo here. I paid a salary, but most of it, nearly all of it, all of it was from the community, the Ludophone stream. So no shilling needed.
How nice. Patent Pike gives $5 and says, I'll just take Fallout New Vegas 1.0 and some dev tools. I'll stave off boredom indefinitely by enjoying the game and trying to fix all the bugs.
It's like a fixer-upper. I like
Give
that.
yourself a nice little
I like that
Sisyphean
too.
task.
Yeah, nice little project.
Fox D gets $5 and says Yahtzee's dating site idea invites the question: who on earth would want to date someone whose gaming tastes are all single-player time sinks?
Well,
if
next
you
to
also
each other,
like that.
if you want to be next to each other but not talking to each other, that sounds nice.
I mean, that's how me and my wife play games, in different parts of the room, playing our own single-player games that we like.
Yeah.
It's the introvert's perfect relationship. Alex Armstrong gives $5 and says MK8DX. Interesting pick.
Mario Kart 8, yeah.
Oh, I thought Mortal Kombat 8. Which
I'm
one was
assuming it's
Mortal
Mario
Kombat
Kart 8 Deluxe.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 9 was the reboot. Right?
Yeah, the reboot.
So I don't know what the last one before the reboot was.
I think it would have been Armageddon, or
don't pick that one.
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, MK8DX, Sonic Frontiers, Spider-Man 2, Consuming Shadow, and Infamous 2. Unless if there's no big boob Latinas or cocktail bar on that island, then never mind.
Would you rather be stuck on the island with only one good game or like 200 bad games?
Ooh, there's a question. How good a game and a bad a game are we talking about?
One game of your choice, or the 200
lowest rated games on itch.io,
or every one of your worst lists. Every game that has ever made your worst list.
Oh,
End of your worst list.
I'd probably go with that, to be honest, because there'd be a lot of variety there, and again, I could learn to love a lot of them.
Sure. There's chances are one of those games you'll revisit and be like, oh, not as bad as I thought.
well, actually, I would, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, probably. Also, you could always pick cocktail bar as your luxury item. Cocktail bar staffed with big boob Latina is your luxury item.
Can my luxury item be a phone to leave?
You're missing the point. The point is you want to be on this island. It's like your retirement.
Oh, that's nice.
Mikhail Manfredo gives $1.99, comes back and says, Yahtzee, do you ever gym tan laundry?
Oh, wow. I haven't heard that in a long time.
I don't know what they're on about.
That was the Jersey Shore. GTL.
Oh, okay.
Your big thing was gym tan laundry.
What?
I don't think I've ever done whatever the fuck it is.
You never gym tanned or laundry? You've probably laundried. You've probably washed your clothing before.
Yeah, I've laundried. I don't think I've ever tanned. And not for want of trying. I lived in fucking Australia for 13 years.
Yeah.
And I've been to the gym.
There you go. You kind of GTL'd.
All right then.
You're on the GTL spectrum.
I don't think I've ever combined the three. Fungus Finder gives $2 and says, let's go around the table and share our favorite wanks.
Stop him. Thank you for the dono. Let's move on.
Alex Armstrong.
That he came and find his fungi, am I right? Oh, hachi bachi. Look at that duck! What?
That's a goose.
Whatever, they're all the same.
Oh, all right, we're learning a lot about you and Yahtzee's wanks this stream.
No. I am on the record of saying if the fucking animals, they're all the same. Whatever, all birds are the same.
Fucking animals, they're all the same.
They're all the same.
Alex Armstrong gives $5 and says, bought We Love Katamari on Steam's Lunar sale, but it kept bugging me about the first game, so I got that too. Yahtzee's right, though. Sequel is better.
Well done.
Damn straight.
First game's great, though. First game was also $20 at launch. On PS2, it launched and it was $20.
Yes.
Which was sort of unheard of at the time.
I'm not saying Katamari Damacy was bad. I'm just saying We Love Katamari ensures there's no reason to play Katamari Damacy.
Oh, no.
Because it's basically all the same shit, but it's better.
That's true.
I'm buying We Love Katamari right now.
Good. It's a good game. Ryan Betts gives $2 and says, unrelated, loved the design delve crossover in Adventure is Nigh. Did you see that, Jay? It was in the Platinum Resolve episode. Jack
I
needed
didn't.
a
I haven't seen that episode yet. Have you? Is that do you go to the mines?
Well, yes, there's a bit where Mortimer attempts to scam a mining company, and for want of an image of someone from a mining company,
it's me. It's me. It's me.
That's really good.
I have seen this because Omar, you guys made this ages ago because we've been waiting to release the Platinum Resolve. Omar contacted me and was like, hey, we've got an idea. Do you give permission to let us use this stuff? And he sent me the shots. I just forgot. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Love it.
Faizan gives $5 and says, how about a really bad but interesting game that could get better over time? Like, how have I changed since last time? Balan Wonderworld, Final Fantasy VII, etc. I finished Balan Wonderworld when I played it. I don't feel like there's any more to discover in it. It's just a really bad game.
Not as bad as everyone said. It's got its charm. It's not good. And it is bad.
Yes.
Dank,
right? It's not that. It's like Gollum. It's not good. It is bad. But it's not that.
It is bad. It's bad in an interesting way.
Yeah. Which is fine. Also, the Final Fantasy VII throwing it on there felt like how's Final Fantasy VII taking shots in the super chat?
Maybe this person doesn't like Final Fantasy VII.
They don't like Yuji Naka, or I'm sure he made Final Fantasy VII as well.
Or maybe he's talking about something else with the initials FF, like Final Fight.
The 7th Final Fight.
Or Fat Freddy and Furry Freak Brothers.
Fat Freddy and the Furry Freak Brothers.
They live next door to me on that prostitute road.
No further information will be offered at this time. Fox Day gives $5 and says, a desert island might be just what I need to finally figure out the combat system in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. Lol. Well, I've got good news for you. The combat system is slightly easier to figure out in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Tune in Wednesday for Yahtzee's full review.
It's still not very good, but I actually felt I could somewhat compete in it this time around.
The internet's going gaga about this Kingdom Come.
Oh yeah, Nick is quite vocal in his appreciation for the game.
I'm excited. I think Yahtzee's going to love it. That's what I think. This Wednesday, I'm going to figure out.
And I'm going to leave it at that until the review comes out. Alex Hamstrong gives $2 and says, would you bring a dictionary with you to the island? Why would I want to do that, Alex Armstrong? I know all the words.
Etymology.
I'm a crossword expert. I already know all the words.
Also, words are jazz. Just make it up.
Also,
you're on the island. Who can tell you? No one can actually you. Words meaning whatever you want.
If you bring a copy of a dictionary in print form, it's never going to get updated, is it?
Yeah, you don't need any of those new words, though. It's always just like fucking...
We would never learn the word on fleek if we were just stuck with the OED from like 10 years ago.
That would be a crime.
The book they heard at Uncle Height gives €2 and says, to help Marty sleep, Proteus and some obvious picks.
Wait, is this Okay, this isn't the Proteus I'm thinking of. Proteus I'm thinking of is Proteus. Do you remember that one?
If I meant that one, I would have said Proteus, pronouncing the T as the English accent does, not Proteus with a D.
That's because lazy Americans, we got places to go, we got things to do, we don't have time to be given hard pronunciations to think.
You ain't got time to press your tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth.
Oh, my tongue's in 1,000 places right now.
I thought Americans would enjoy doing that, all the fucking shit they eat.
Ah!
Got him.
Welcome to the Suck Boys.
Tsunami Dusha. Oh my goodness, Tsunami Dusha actually is saying something this time.
It's like when you see your teacher at the grocery store. You're like, I know. What are you doing here?
You're not meant to
live at school.
Is giving $5 to say MH4G.
Monster Hunter 4?
Monster Hunter 4 Generations. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Has a mode that generates weapon stats and levels. Valheim, Smash Brothers Ultimate, Unicorn Overlord, and Diddy Kong Racing. Have a nice week. Oh, quite a blend of moods you got there.
Love it.
Diddy Kong Racing, fun fact, first appearance of Banjo. And first appearance of Conker.
Mm-hmm. And also wasn't originally a Nintendo project with Nintendo IP. It was changed and forced to have it by Nintendo.
Look at that. You're getting a lot of fun facts. Do you have any Diddy Kong Racing related fun facts?
Racing fun facts? I like driving San Francisco.
That's not Diddy Kong Racing.
That's also a good game, but that's not Diddy Kong Racing, so you failed this interview.
Was the tiger going to be the main character of Diddy Kong Racing?
The tiger was the main character, and they kept it in the game. Yeah.
Am I right in saying that Conker of Bad Thursday fame debuted in Diddy Kong Racing.
Also,
Literally said that
debuted,
20 seconds ago. Yes.
Oh, I zoned out. Sorry.
You did zone out. You did that thing where I started talking and you stopped listening. And you're
Well,
missing the tidbits.
In my defense, Marty, I find you very boring.
I agree. I agree.
Lord of the Rings fan 193 gives 489 and says, will Starstruck Vagabond only be for Windows? I only have a Mac unless I steal my brother's PC. Well, assuming Nick reaches out to some indie publishers, like I keep asking him to, like he keeps saying he will, we're hoping to work with a partner on localizing and ports. But that depends on Nick pulling his big fat finger out. Stop tongue back.
I'm going to GDC. I'm going GDC in March. I'll talk to some publishers.
Well, I'm still holding out the flimsy hope that he'll have done the fucking job before March.
Given how you slandered his taste in games several times throughout this stream, I can't understand why he wouldn't do this.
Maybe because he's trying to be a professional, for Christ's sake.
You tell him.
Anyway, Nick Knoll, another Nick, who we like, gives $5 and says, what multiplayer game could you bring to signal for help to the outside world? No chat function allowed. Minecraft, obviously.
What? I think, yeah.
Just write a big SOS message.
Yeah, but you have to join via IP, right? Someone would have to know to join you. You're not like randomly joining things, right?
Okay, then.
This has happened in World of Warcraft. If we're allowing multiplayer for World of Warcraft, I believe there's a story of someone who had a heart attack while playing WoW and messaged in the chat, and they managed to get an ambulance to his house.
But we aren't allowed to use the chat. That was.
Wait, does it say in the chat?
That was the specification.
Sorry, Nick.
I guess you just play one of those online games where you can build your own base, like Rust or something like that.
Mm.
Fill My Ass Up gives 100 Norwegian kroner and says, speaking as someone who has a cabin at an island where internet is really limited, well, now we know why Fill My Ass Up keeps giving us money. You get more into your games the less wires you have to set up. Console games should be out of the question. Well, just do jigsaw puzzles then if you're that bothered about setting up wires.
Wait a minute. You get more into your games the less wires that set up. Console games would be out of the don't PCs have more wires than consoles?
Yeah, I'd have thought so.
Yeah, way more.
What do you mean like handhelds?
I guess you had to plug in a PC for various reasons besides video gaming. Like signaling for help.
Yeah. Playing Minesweeper.
Dear Coast Guard. Help! Exclamation mark. Help! Exclamation mark. Hoping to hear from you soon. Signed, Yarte. Zoe Preisvelg gives $5 and says Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2, Persona 3 Portable, Doom 2016, Tetris Effect Connected, and Baldur's Gate 3. Doom 2016 is getting a lot of votes.
Surprisingly.
Popular game.
It's a fun game. Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says Mortimer's new hair kind of looks like Nathan Drake. I suppose, yeah. Because the look I'm shooting for in the new season of Adventures in I is that Mortimer's kind of letting himself go a bit. Because he's achieved a lot of his goals in life. He's gotten revenge. He's gotten rich beyond his wildest dreams. And now he's struggling to find a purpose. So he's sort of stopped looking after his outfit.
Interesting.
And stopped combing his hair as much.
No combing.
Elise T gives $1.99 and says, with internet, New York Times Games app would be high on my list.
Interesting.
What type of games do you get?
You get a crossword,
Wordle,
you get
connections.
You get Wordle, you get connections, you get the spelling bee.
Good for you, Yards.
Yeah. I don't really think of that as games. That's just thing that I have to do on my phone at some point during the day, or I have to kill myself.
So you better have it on your fucking list, bro. Like,
I suppose I've got like a 300 streak on the crossword at the moment.
Sometimes the connections make me so angry.
I know.
Sometimes whoever made those is just fucking thinking on a different.
I would delete that
You
app
know,
immediately.
My father-in-law does the New York Times puzzles as well, and this is one of the things we bond over on how bullshitty the connections puzzle was today. Like, remember not too long ago when the category was extra virgin olive oil.
It was just extra. Yeah, it was just the words extra virgin olive and oil. And I clocked it, but I'm like, there's no way that's the thing. Like, they're there to take you off the scent.
Explain the premise of the game to me. I've never played.
Okay, there's a grid of 16 like single words, and you have to group them into fours based on like connections. Okay. Like sometimes it's like, a word that can precede the word up, or kinds of cheese. Or
things you'd bring to a picnic, names of sports team of like NFL teams.
Yes. And the other day, like the category was literally just extra virgin olive oil, and the 4 words were extra virgin olive and oil.
That's fucked.
Which is bullshit. I didn't cry bullshit that hard since the category was lions, tigers, bears, oh my. And that was literally the 4 things: lions, tigers, bears, and oh my.
That's one of those when the person who makes the puzzle forgot to make it, and the editor was like, "So we're putting this live. Do you have the puzzle?" You're like, "Oh fuck!" And they just like look around there and like extra virgin olive oil.
Jesus,
100%.
Suppose it's got to. I mean, when you're going to bring out a new one every day, you must struggle occasionally.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Making trivia questions when I used to host pub trivia, I'd eventually hit a point where I'm just gonna fucking reuse these because it's been 2 years and we're all drunk when I asked them the first time, anyways.
Ellie Berry gives $4.99 and says, "Yahtzee, you talk about being really into linguistics. I'm curious, you're more into prescriptivism and descriptivism. Don't flex your academic todger at me, Ellie Berry. I don't know anything about that shit. I never went to university. I had to get on with life. I just like learning about words. I don't know the fancy names for any of it.
Shut up. You bring up those fancy names all the fucking time. You're just mad because you don't know these ones.
This is just dense academic jargon. This isn't my
you
shit
bring that up all the time. You're just mad you don't know these.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You absolutely do. You are so full of shit.
I only bring up the fun academic jargon.
None of them are fun. None of them are fun. How about you count the number of letters in those words and then move on to the next one?
Okay.
Oh no, he's doing
50, 15 for the first word.
You're making Ludo cry. Ludo's crying right now.
She's so upset right now.
I'll make you cry. And I think it's just 13 in the second word.
Congrats, prescription and subscription, or whatever those words were.
Prescriptivism and descriptivism. Faizan gives $2 Canadian and clarifies an earlier point. Final Fantasy VII. I hate that big sword anime boy.
Oh no, he's great. What are you talking about, Cloud?
Yes, that's the one.
Look how pretty he is right now. Look at his dress. He looks so nice.
Oh my god.
Who else in Final Fantasy VII could be described as a big anime sword boy?
Sephiroth and Zack.
Okay, well, they're all happy big anime sword boys together.
Oh yeah, I bet they did a lot of kissing back in the soldier dormitories. That's what Crisis Core is all about.
Yes, but it's not gay because they did it with the lights out.
Exactly. See, you know what's going on. I'm back on this page.
Shashank7170 gives 40 rupees and says Pokemon HG.
Heart Gold.
What?
Heart Gold.
Oh, okay. GTA San Andreas, Red Dead Redemption 2, Yakuza 0, and Skyrim.
Who's Yakuza 0?
Of all Yakuzas.
Well, Yakuzas. Also GTA and Red Dead. I'm not saying this is your list. You can choose whatever you want. I just feel like in my mind, I'd be like, well, I want games like very different from each other.
Bit redundant.
Yeah. I like the Pokemon one, though. Finally, someone mentioned Pokemon because Pikachu's on our thumbnail and none of us mentioned Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
I like Pikachu. Pikachu's nice.
Evil Engine number 9 gives $10 and says another tenner for Ludo and maybe to bait Yards into bringing out Toffee. What are you talking about? Toffee's been on screen he's been on screen this whole time.
Dun dun dun.
He's just down here.
Oh! Ludo's on edge because she's not used to living in an apartment, and whenever someone's outside going in and out of the house, she like does a little boofs. She's like,
boof, boof,
little boofs.
She's doing it. You tell him, Leeds.
Alex Armstrong gives $5 and says, better question, Yards. What 5 games from your dev diary would you fully develop on the island so that when you're finally rescued, you'll publish them? Something's in the Sea, The Cleaner, BRTV, Hogpocalypse Sow, and the Magic Poo Machine. No, actually, Magic Poo Machine and Casey Joint rather than Hogpocalypse Sow. All right, no further details.
Your games have really good. Your games have really
titles.
Good names.
Yeah,
I like your names.
I'm good at titles.
You're very good at titles.
Garfield 2326 gives $5. There's Persona 4, Star Wars Battlefront 1 Original, Burnout 3, Stellaris, FF14.
FF14 is good.
Burnout 3 is great choice.
Burnout 3 is really good. Persona 4 is really good too. Those are just good games. I don't know what Stellaris is. That seems like one of those games I don't play.
Stellaris, it's I believe a 4X game. I know what the game is. I don't know if it counts as a 4X game. It's like Civ in space.
Oh, okay. I thought it was one of them Terraria ripoffs, but then I realized I was thinking of Starbound.
Starbound, yeah.
It's crazy how 3X's is pornos, which are great. You add another X, it's those grand strategy games.
Super nerdy.
Yeah.
It's not great.
We've crossed the event horizon.
That shows that sometimes you got to be a little bit modest and hold back. And
a single X is a treasure, and 2 X's is a chromosome.
Yeah. That's a smart boy.
But what's 5 X's?
Super porno. A lot of times, like jugs of hooch and cartoons have 5 X's on them.
No, that's got like 3 X's usually.
Also,
for 4X, 4 X's I would have said is an Australian beer.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Castle Mine 4X. I used to live near the brewery when I lived in Brisbane.
There you go.
Sounds like another German name you're reading out. Castle Mine 4X.
Well, they pronounce it Australian, so Castle Mine. Castle Mine 4X.
On your bike, mate.
On your fucking bike.
Leave it out.
I like that hat, mate.
Let's stop being Australians now, because I think we're just all embarrassing ourselves.
Oh, fuck.
Electric Prunes gives $2 and says Minecraft, Flight Sim, Unreal Tournament 2004, GTA 5, and GTR 2. What's GTR?
Gran Turismo
Racing 2?
GTR 2.
I think Gran Turismo Racing would be a little redundant.
I can't figure out what the GTR stands for.
Grand Theft Auto. When Scooby-Doo's playing.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
Ludo's going to be like, oh my God, there's a dog here.
Oh my God, boof.
Fox Day gives $5. Says, how many genres with 1 game each would it take to get your entire spread of game interests onto the island? How many genres with 1 game each? What are you on about, Fox Day?
How many genres? Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, if you wanted every genre you like to be represented, how many games would that be?
Yeah, it's if you could have 1 game from each genre, how many would it take for you to spread out all of your interests? I think.
But the thing is, like, you can pick. Like we talked about, like Red Dead. I feel like covers several things. You know, Grand Theft Auto covers several things.
I think it'd be a lot quicker just to list the genres I don't like real-time strategy, sports games, and top-down RPGs.
Yeah, fair.
Everything except them.
That's a lot.
Fungus Finder gives $2 and says, all right, wise guy, how many syllables in Natchitoches? I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, so I couldn't say.
Natchitoches. 4. Crushed it.
I could tell you it's a 12-letter word.
The clap technique, love it.
Yeah. I invented that, actually. I invented the clap.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, can game collections count, or is that cheating? Yes, that's cheating.
You go to island jail.
Don't you be getting your Mario All-Stars. or your orange boxes.
Ooh, I'm trying to think if I could pick 5 collections. So it'd be Orange Box, it'd be Mario All Stars, Rare Replay.
But would you want Mario 2D All Stars or Mario 3D All Stars?
That's a good question. Fuck.
Well, anything could be a
3D, I
game
think.
collection if it's been like put together as a bundle on Steam or something.
I'd do 3D just so I could speedrun 64.
I do
Just
both of them.
endlessly do that.
I do both of them. Why not have both?
Again, you're filling up 20% of your allotted space with Mario.
And he's great. I'd have an Italian
Classic.
friend on the island. Unlike you guys would have 0 Italian friends.
I'd have all the Red Dead Redemption 2 characters, as previously discussed.
Arthur.
Yeah, I'll also
Yeah.
just remake Mario in World of Warcraft and just use a big hammer. That'll be great.
He's already got a hammer.
Yeah.
Point and Click gives $10 and says Balatro, Skyrim, Vampire Survivors, Witcher 3, and Stardew Valley. Well, what a thoroughly interesting list. And that's the end
Vampire
of the Super
Survivors
Chats.
was on my shortlist.
That was the first time Vampire Survivors was mentioned. Also, Vactor
Okay.
resubbed. You forgot about Vactor. You're always forgetting about Vactor. I keep telling you that.
Well, I just keep forgetting his very unmemorable name.
I think Vactor is great, and I like that your profile picture is maybe a bird. I can't see what it is. It's pretty small. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I think it's a
fucking
skanking shadow.
It's a fucking Rorschach blot of a profile picture, I'll tell you that.
It's a skanking shadow.
Vactor, it is a skanking shadow. Tell me I'm right, baby.
Oh, here you go. 2 super chats just came in the last minute. Gravekeeper gives $5 and says, I can't decide if VR would be a mistake. Do I need to conserve energy and water? Would I get eaten while blindfolded? Yeah, fucking land shark will just shimmy up the beach while you're distracted.
Oh no, my legs. This game feels so realistic.
Guild on Yesage gives $5 and says, fine, I'll go obscura still. Empyrean Galactic Survival, Space Engineers, Oxygen Not Included, Avorion, and strangest of all, Kill the Justice League. This is pretty
I know that one.
strange. Guild on
I know that
Yesage.
one.
Well, I know more of those on that list than I did before.
Yeah, serious. All right, that's at the actual end. Thanks for watching / listening to the Windbreakers podcast. Why not let us know what 5 games you would take to a desert island? Post them in the comments below, and we'll pretend to give a single flying shit.
I'm going to read them, and I like hearing your lists.
I'm not. Only because every time I read the comments of Windbreaker, there's someone telling me that I should be killed by Stanley Kubrick.
Well, they have a point.
Stanley Kubrick, known murderer.
I said something about Stanley Kubrick once, and people got real mad. It's
Lot of
nearly always
Kubrick.
there.
A lot of Cube
What?
fans in the audience.
Well,
Yeah,
are
big
you
cube heads.
Are you about to say you don't like Stanley Kubrick?
No, I love Stanley Kubrick's work, but I implied that he mentally abused his actors, and then somebody was like, "No, we fucking didn't."
Well, he did, yeah. Mentally and physically abused.
You can't say that
I mean,
though, because
The Scatman Crothers Defense Force is coming.
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell almost drowned on the set
Yeah.
of A Clockwork Orange.
yeah,
Star Baby
Scat
almost
Shadow.
died. They didn't feed the Star Baby enough.
Yeah,
Wow.
the Scat Shadow nearly died of exhaustion for
Scat
forcibly
Shadow.
skanking.
Stanley,
Not
where's
Scat
the
Shadow, sorry, Skank Shadow, not Scat Shadow. That's a different one entirely. Fuck me.
Man, I wanted to make a whole riff about how you feed a star baby with a space boob, but the moment passed.
Oh, that was good though.
I was going to say, Stanley, we forgot the space boob. Keep filming. Let's use it.
That's a good bit. Good boob bit.
You know what? If anyone
Okay.
says gets mad at you for your Stanley Kubrick comments, tell them to fly to you and say that to your face, and they won't because they're afraid of flying. Just like Stanley Kubrick, just like their hero Stanley Kubrick.
I
And just
think a
like
lot of-
everyone at the moment.
Yes,
because of
I think
the
a lot more
fucking
people
US
are
airline.
afraid of flying right now.
Not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
Except
Man.
bugs.
I'm going to have to take the Titanic back to England.
Possibly go wrong.
The Titanic 2? Oh my god. Nothing can
Yeah.
go wrong.
Not the one that died in the ocean depths.
The other one.
What was it called? Ocean Gate Titan? Yes, it was called the Titan.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yes.
They had like
Just,
the bunk ass PS2 controller.
It was really tempting fate calling it that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So we started calling it the Titanic, but we didn't have time to finish the name before it imploded and we all died within the course of a single nanosecond.
Oh my god,
Alright,
that
dude.
controller, dude.
I was thinking about that because I was writing up my full review of The Root Trees Are Dead. I was like, man, if only these billionaire characters had died in a ocean-going deep submersive vehicle, I would have gotten hard.
Not another wank.
It's absolutely time to move on. Fucking tell people what to watch so we can leave.
Okay, what's
eat
fully
lunch and
romantic this
die.
week? It's on the subject of Kingdom Come 2, and it'll probably really piss you off if you like that game.
Oh,
What else? Yes, I've got a semi-emblematic dropping on Thursday, which is on the subject of the Switch 2, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And also Yahtzee Tries on Wednesday, where I stream some indie games, and someone comes along and watches me stream the indie games. We've got more Adventurers Nigh mid-season content coming out on Saturday. I believe
Level
we're
Up
doing
sesh.
the Level Up sesh this Saturday
Yeah.
in preparation for the upcoming beginning of the 4th season on February 15th.
Day after Valentine's Day.
How fitting. Oh, shit. I need to buy my wife something. See, it was her birthday today. I got her a nice
Happy
present
birthday.
today.
That's like a pre-Christmas birthday. That's always tough.
What did you get
Also,
her?
HBD, Mrs. Yahtzee.
I got her a card. and
That's
some
nice.
chocolates.
nice. Lovely.
And yes, I think that's it for my content this week. Let me again remind you all that I've got an exclusive video on Patreon where I read out the Kingdom Hearts lore over the course of about an hour. And it's certainly been the rabbit hole that's drawing in a lot of new Patreon subscribers lately.
It is excellent. Jesse Schwab did a wonderful job of zhooshing it.
He did.
Zhoosh.
Really went above and beyond on that one.
The big
All right, that's my stuff. Jay, plug your stuff.
Oh shit! Yeah, we just had DevHeads last week. We also the week before we had a Design Delve on Marvel Rivals. That one's doing pretty good. But Design Delve this week is not going to be on Friday. The release of Design Delve has moved to Mondays, so not this Friday, the following Monday. Same day as Windbreaker, we're going to have a new Design Delve out on some interesting stuff, and we have a special episode of DevHeads this Friday, which is going to be having a game and their devs that we are very interested in. Are you shaking your head?
Friday? That is like 2 weeks away, right?
No, it's this Friday.
Are you recording it this Friday?
No, that's a different thing. We're doing.
What's going on?
Okay, well, we'll talk about this afterwards.
Okay,
we
sorry.
may have a DevHeads this Friday, which
Gotcha.
I'm almost certain we do.
Okay.
So look out for that, and if we do, it's interesting, and it's something Yahtzee's actually going to be interested in. So we'll see. So stay tuned for that. If that is a thing, I'll put a message in the DevHeads chat, and if it isn't, I'll go quiet, and you'll never hear from me again. But yeah, that's my stuff. Check out all the streams and the podcasts. Love you guys.
Poor Eric. 4 podcasts this week. Our sweet boy.
Oh,
Our
man.
sweet boy. All sorts of great stuff. This evening, there is no Hidden Gems. And that's because an hour earlier, 5 p.m. Central, Dokapon's back. I'm joining the Hot Monday Energy crew. We got 3 hours of Dokapon tonight, starting at 5 p.m. Central. Tune in for that. Tomorrow, we'll be back for the Rewind at noon Central. And then at 3 p.m. Central tomorrow, Nick is going to be back with Jenna. And they're going to be playing a little bit of Yahtzee's favorite game of the year, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Oh, perhaps they'll figure out what they like about it.
Okay, in Jenna's defense, we don't know her opinion on the game.
Oh, okay.
So maybe she doesn't like it. Yeah, then Firelink on Wednesday. Thursday's got the normal Liza P. It's got RPG Help Desk. I believe Jack is joining Jesse this week for that. And then we'll be continuing Super Metroid. Casey's first time through Super Metroid. And let me know. Let me tell you guys, Super Metroid, that's a pretty good game.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Really
good
like
game.
it.
That's it. The end.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We got to go now and remove some of the quality from your life generally. But tune in next time and perhaps you'll be reminded once again why you are persisting in living in this broken world. Bye, everyone.
Beautiful.
See you next time.